Ephorine, her eyes blazing with determination, pointed directly at Professor Deculin, declaring boldly she would like to duel him. The surrounding crowd erupted in shock and disbelief as Professor Lelin exclaimed, "What? Look at that crazy wench! You brat! What nonsense are you spouting?" Julie, observing the uproar, thought that she was seriously insane. Ephorine, however, remained composed, thinking to herself that as expected, everyone was freaking out, but she figured they would react this way. She wasn't an idiot, after all. She recognized this as an opportunity, a chance to finally face Deculin in battle, and if she could just seize the chance, she didn't mind being treated like a lunatic for a moment. Deculin, an unreadable smile playing on his lips, remained silent as another professor questioned incredulously if Ephorine was out of her mind and if she even knew what she was doing. Deculin finally spoke, his voice calm but firm. "Enough. Professor Lelin, calm yourself." Lelin stammered, protesting about her challenge. Deculin, looking directly at Ephorine, stated with an air of authority, "Very well, I permit it." He elaborated that he had said anyone here could be chosen and never specified a restriction, therefore he would be her opponent. He then added a condition, but it wouldn't be fair for a professor to duel a debutante without any handicap. "I will not attack you first. And if you manage to make me move even slightly here, you win," setting a seemingly impossible condition for her victory. Ephorine, a fierce smile on her face, accepted the challenge. Green energy pulsed around Ephorine as she prepared herself, her heart pounding like crazy with anticipation. This was it, the thing she wished for so desperately, a duel with Deculin. He stood impassively, waiting for her to begin. Ephorine launched her attack, a torrent of green magical energy surging towards him, crying out with fierce determination. She acknowledged internally that he was someone whose power gap she usually felt clearly, so of course, she didn't think she could do anything to him now in terms of defeating him. This duel itself was reckless, she knew full well. But she wanted to measure her current ability while she had the chance to gauge herself against the opponent she would one day definitely defeat with her own strength. A swirling vortex of fire erupted around a complex magic circle at her feet, engulfing Deculin in a pillar of flame. He observed the attack calmly. As the flames subsided, he stood untouched, arms crossed. Ephorine, undeterred, declared, "I'm not done yet," launching another spell, Element of Earth. She propelled herself through the lingering fire, a wave of molten earth surging from a new magic circle she conjured. The attack crashed and shattered around Deculin, who remained completely still. Professor Lelin and S watched in stunned silence, Sylvia murmuring in awe. Ephorine, panting from exertion, unleashed her spell. A glowing green magic circle appeared before her, and from it, a massive sphere of molten earth and rock surged towards Professor Deculin. The sphere cracked and pulsed with fiery energy as it approached him, but Deculin remained completely still, arms crossed, his expression unreadable. The molten earth sphere shattered harmlessly around him, leaving him untouched amidst the exploding fragments. Ephorine let out a frustrated as she watched her powerful attack prove ineffective. Ephorine, panting from the exertion, unleashed another spell, Ricochet Mortar, green orbs of energy forming around her. Deculin calmly observed, noting her magic had a habit. He explained that the bigger the spell motion, the more that habit stood out, and also noted her mana interference. Ephorine, sweat beading on her brow, prepared her next spell, but as she tried to cast, she found her magic wouldn't activate. A horrifying realization dawned. She wondered if he had seen through all her spell circuits. Deculin confirmed her fear, stating coolly, "You will no longer be able to cast magic in front of me," blocking her casting entirely. Ephorine cursed internally that he had blocked her casting entirely. A determined glint appeared in Ephorine's eyes. She thought defiantly that the magic battle wasn't over yet, and she charged forward, her fist cocked back, declaring internally she was actually more confident when it came to using her body, intending physical combat. As Ephorine charged towards Professor Deculin, fist ready, a gloved hand suddenly shot out with incredible speed, easily catching her by the chin, stopping her advance instantly. With a flick of his wrist, Deculin sent her flying backwards across the arena, where she landed with a heavy thud and a cloud of dust. Deculin let out a small, almost dismissive, sound of mild exertion. He then began his assessment of her performance. He acknowledged her well-combined use of pure elemental magic, wind and fire, and noted, on top of that, her clever use of the earth element to trigger a dust explosion, praising her magical sense as impressive. However, he continued, no matter how good her sense was, without the fundamental ability to control the elements effectively, using them at the right moment was impossible. Ephraim, still seated on the ground where she had landed, listened intently to his feedback. Deculin explained that what made all this possible must be Ephraim's innate talent, vessel, the unique ability to control all elements, as long as she possessed the bracelet she wore, which seemed to amplify or enable this talent. He acknowledged this as truly one of the most prized talents in the world, a rare and powerful ability. He mused that if the original Deculin saw Ephraim as she was now, he would have felt a chill of surprise or even intimidation, and maybe even gotten jealous of her raw potential. He then added thoughtfully that if a kind-hearted named individual like her grew up properly and honed her talent, nothing could be better for the world, showing a flicker of hope for her future. Unfortunately, he concluded, regarding the outcome of their duel, the result seemed to be already decided, acknowledging her inability to meet his condition. However, he added, a subtle shift in his tone, offering a note of encouragement, that it wasn't bad at all. Ephraim looked up, a spark of hope in her eyes, seeing his positive feedback. Deculin announced, that's the end of today's public lesson. Debutantes, focus on preparing for the midterms during the remaining period. As Deculin walked away, the crowd of students and spectators erupted in murmurs of discussion and surprise. Sylvia exclaimed to someone nearby, "Whoa, isn't that like the first time Deculin praised someone that much?" Another student agreed in amazement. Someone else commented, but Ephraim really did great. When she fought back earlier, it ended so quickly I didn't realize she could do this much with her magic. A more stoic student simply noted factually that it was kind of anticlimactic. Ephraim, still processing Deculin's words and the unexpected praise, looked down, a small, almost disbelieving smile touching her lips as she thought internally that she had just been recognized. Her fellow students, having witnessed her impressive display against Deculin despite losing, rushed towards her, showering her with praise and admiration, exclaiming, "Wow, seriously Ephraim. You were amazing just now, and for real. You were the best," declaring, "You're our pride, Ephraim." Scene shift to a figure with long, dark reddish-brown hair tied back, wearing a distinctive pirate hat, stood on the deck of a ship, gazing out at the sparkling blue water. "They're here," she commented as a group approached on the dock. A young man with light blue-gray hair, Leo, leaped agilely from the ship onto the dock, landing lightly on a stack of crates. She greeted the assembled group, "Leo Carlos, it's been a while. Have you been well?" A woman with short reddish-brown hair, Ganesha, presumably part of the approaching group, spread her arms wide in a welcoming gesture. Yuria exclaiming, "Ganesha, it's been a while." The figure from the ship, now revealed to be a young woman named Yuria, with long, flowing dark brown hair, and Ganesha with a cheerful smile. Yuria replied with a slight blush, "A little?" Yuria let out a happy hee-hee, her expression bright and welcoming.